it 2, 3 times. What does this mean? Expert. And what if I was to tell you there is more video footage from that damn Seattle game that fans is finding online? And there's one thing about this internet. Whatever you put on this internet will be saved. If it's one thing about going to a game, this is why you got to keep your composure whenever you're out in public, because you never know who got a phone out.
New footage from the Seattle game has emerged online, and the debate over the relationship between Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever head coach has moved well past speculation. The video shows Clark appearing to pull away from White's physical contact on the sideline, a moment that has been replayed and analyzed extensively since it surfaced. Combined with earlier footage that had already been circulating, the picture being assembled is one of a player who has grown visibly uncomfortable with how she is being handled by her coaching staff. The original clip, Clark pulling her hand away from White's grip, had already generated significant discussion. The newer footage adds to that narrative, rather than contradicting it.
Who got a phone out? Who got a phone out recording this? And guess what they're going to put? Post. And when they send that post and they upload that post, guess what that's going to entail? That's going to entail some things that has to be addressed. Now, I don't have media credentials with the Indiana Fever, but boy, oh boy, I sure wish I did.
Body language analysts and casual observers alike have. This does not read as a player venting frustration over a single play or a difficult moment in a game. The pattern across multiple exchanges suggests something more sustained. A player who has reached a level of exhaustion with her situation and is no longer concealing it. The conversation has extended beyond the sideline dynamics and into questions about Clark's long-term future in Indianapolis. Clark's brother was noted to have liked a social media post in which fans expressed interest in seeing her move to the New York Liberty, which was at the time of Sandy Brondello's tenure there. That detail, minor on its own, fed into a broader discussion already gaining momentum about whether Clark might eventually seek a way out of her current environment.
Oh boy, I sure wish I did. Because I can tell you right now, some of them beat writers, some of them sports writers in Indy, they gotta come to the congregation today. And when the Indiana Fever have a press conference, they have to ask Stephanie White about these videos that we about to blow up. Because these videos is about to blow up and they're going to garner thousands of views because we're not the only ones that.
The argument being made is straightforward. When a workplace consistently fails to align with what an employee does best, the natural response is to start looking elsewhere. The Team USA basketball program is being discussed in some circles as an environment where Clark will be surrounded by different players and different coaching philosophies. Essentially, an extended audition for what a more functional setup might feel like. On the marketing side, the criticism that has been building toward the WNBA and the Fever organization received vocal support from several commentators this week. The core of the argument is that Clark functions as the gravitational center of the league's current commercial moment. The player whose presence drives television ratings, fills arenas, and generates attention that spills over onto everyone around her. Historically, that dynamic has been well understood in professional sports.
Because we're not the only ones that is tired of Stephanie White, because I am here to tell you a new video has surfaced. And in this video, you guys are going to see Caitlin Clark frustration with Stephanie White. Roll it. Hold up. Now, did Caitlin? Whoa, wait a minute. Let's see this.
During the NBA's peak Jordan era, the league built its entire promotional identity around one player, and the rising tide of that decision lifted every franchise and every player in his orbit. Patrick Ewing became a household name in large part because he competed against Jordan. Reggie Miller's most iconic moments are inseparable from their Jordan context. The same pattern held for Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, stars who elevated the visibility of everyone who shared a court with them. The argument being applied to Clark is identical.
Let's see this. Caitlin say, "Don't touch me." Did Caitlin say, "Don't touch me"? Now look at Kelly and Amber right there in the stands, front and center, to watch this exchange. Look at what you guys created. Kelly and Amber, look at this. Look at this. Don't touch me. Caitlin is sick of it.
Her performance in overtime situations, her ability to generate crowd responses, and her instinct for the clutch moment have led multiple commentators to place her in the same commercial and competitive tier as the players named above. The assessment is not unanimous, but the ratings and attendance data that follow her from city to city are offered as evidence that the market has already rendered its verdict, regardless of where individual analysts draw the line. What has commentators most frustrated is the perception that the WNBA is actively working against its own financial interests by downplaying Clark in its promotional materials. The league's decision to feature other players on graphics for games in which Clark is competing, and the Fever's own pattern of going days at a time without posting Clark-related content on their channels, is being read as a deliberate choice rather than an oversight. The question being raised is why an organization would go out of its way to limit the visibility of the player most directly responsible for the commercial energy surrounding the product.
Caitlin is sick of it. And she gonna try to say, hey, what? Hey, what? Last time I checked, the superstars are your basketball team or the bosses of the basketball team. A superstar of a basketball team trump any coach. And I made a video yesterday, and I say Stephanie White is looking a lot like Doc Rivers. She's not Phil Jackson. We want a Phil Jackson, Kelly and Amber. What happened when you go to
the beat writers and reporters who cover the Fever on a regular basis are being pushed by the fan community to put direct questions about these videos to Stephanie White at the next available press conference? The footage is not going away, and the volume of views it is accumulating ensures that it will remain a part of the public conversation, regardless of whether anyone in the organization chooses to address it formally. The longer the silence holds, the louder the surrounding noise is likely to get. The Indiana Fever drew 14,505 fans to their most recent home game, nearly 3,000 short of full capacity, and by some measures, the lowest regular season attendance figure of the Caitlin Clark era.
Phil Jackson, Kelly and Amber? What happened when you go to work every day and your job is not catering to your needs or catering to what your strong suits are? What is you going to do? You're going to upload your resume to an employment website and you're going to leave that company. You're going to conduct interviews. And I'm telling you right now, Team USA basketball might be the biggest interviewing process for Caitlin because she's going to conduct interviews with other WNBA players around this.
80. The arena map is dotted with open inventory. That context makes the team's promotional choices over the same period all the more difficult to explain. The WNBA ran a promotional push for its NBC and Peacock broadcast window featuring Angel Reese and Aja Wilson, two legitimate stars worth promoting.
Interviews with other WNBA players around this league, and she's going to make it her business, more than likely, allegedly, to get the hell out of Indy, because that is what this is looking like. She got to get the hell out of Indy, bro. Quick, vigorously, fast, and in a hurry. I'm telling you guys this verbatim. Caitlin Clark has an issue, and we can't forget about this one here. This is the original one. Look,
What drew significant backlash was a separate promotional graphic put out by the Indiana Fever themselves, advertising an upcoming game with Raven Johnson as the featured player, not Caitlin Clark. Johnson has been a pleasant surprise this season and has carried herself well. That is not the point.
Caitlin Clark anymore. We don't need her. Now, unfortunately for them, the dynamics of having a media rights deal is you've got advertisers that networks give a forecast for the amount of viewers that are going to consume games. If they do not meet that forecast, they have to sell more advertisements and give them free advertisements on other games. That's how that works.
The point is that the Indiana Fever play in a league still working to grow its audience, are actively struggling to fill their own building, and chose to front a marketing push for a home game with a role player while their globally recognized superstar went unmentioned. Fan response was sharp. The post drew over 1,000 comments and generated more backlash than engagement. The criticisms was straightforward. The Fever have, on multiple occasions over the past several weeks, gone 48 hours or more without posting a single piece of content featuring Clark, the most talked about women's basketball player on the planet.
In other games. That's how that works. If they don't deliver, they got to figure out a way to make it up somewhere. And so we know yesterday in my video, Indiana Fever, 14,505 fans. That's nearly 3,000 off maximum capacity. From what I could tell from all my research, the lowest Caitlin Clark regular season game I've ever seen.
For an organization with empty seats and falling attendance numbers, that kind of opposition is hard to defend on any strategic basis. The broader WNBA marketing picture raises similar questions. The league secured a significant media rights deal and a new CBA, both of which were framed as turning points for the sport's commercial future. Those deals carry real obligations. Journalists, broadcasters, sell advertising based on projected viewership. And if those projections are not met, the league has to compensate with additional inventory.
Clark regular season game I've ever seen. The Wednesday night game, folks. Every one of those dots on this screen is an available seat for Wednesday's game. And I'll show you how the league markets itself and the Fever. Because luckily, me having to go to the doctor today and running behind, not able to get to this.
Attendance and ratings are not decorative numbers. They feed directly into whether those deals deliver what was promised. David Stern built the NBA's commercial foundation in large part by putting Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan on everything. The strategy was not subtle. Find the stars that people want to watch and make sure those people know exactly where to find them.
Luckily, me having to go to the doctor today and running behind, not able to get to this WNBA video that had to do with Caitlin Clark and the Fever give me a gym on top of it because I'm running late. Thanks, Fever. I mean, literally, whoever is in your marketing department, have them put on the bozo hair, paint up like Joker, the clown, or Ronald McDonald, or Bozo. Whatever your preference is, put the big-ass shoes on and find you a clown car.
The comparison to what the Fever are doing with Clark is uncomfortable, and fans have been making it loudly. The Fever cannot control every storyline around the team right now. Injuries, roster decision, and a rough stretch of results are all part of the current picture. But the marketing department operates independently of the win-loss record. Choosing not to center the league's biggest draw in promotional material while ticket prices drop and seats go empty is a decision that belongs entirely to the organization, and one that is becoming increasingly difficult to rationalize.
Just put the big-ass shoes on and find you a clown car. This league is run by a bunch of haters. I'm starting to think the Indiana Fever hate Caitlin Clark. It's starting to feel that way. The organization does. And some of the things I'm seeing out there involving Stephanie White and Dawn Staley, and I'm like, what is going on here? Let me show you something else. Let me just pull this over so you can see the ticket prices. $11.80 on this game. Look at all these empty seats. Every one of those little blue dots or pink dots is a freaking empty seat. Wednesday, May 20th, 7 p.m., Portland Fire. I mean, wow. Wow. Let me readjust this. Now, let's come back over here. Yesterday, Do Not Disturb. This was the promotion the WNBA ran for the NBC games and Peacock games yesterday. Angel and Asia Wilson. Okay, I mean, after Angel's game, but fine. Are you kidding me? Look, to quote Conor McGregor, who the fuck is this? I mean, no offense. I guess I'm probably supposed to know. I couldn't pick this person out of a lineup. No question, I could not. Raven Johnson on the right. This is who the WNBA decided to put from the Indiana Fever on the promotion for this game? Not Caitlin Clark? Kathy